This episode is presented by Ruvi, the most real indoor cycling experience that delivers the famous cycling routes to your home. Go to ruvi.com and start your free 14-day trial. Let's talk about cyclocross royalty, the superstars. Tom Pidcock's already made his return to the World Cup events, and this Sunday, you hinted at it. I know for sure we have Wout van Aert on the start line, the Belgian for Jumbo-Visma. And I think you're also
not yet this weekend.
This Sunday. And look at this. We got Wout van Aert in that yellow jersey. I remember this stage and at the Tour de France, we were in the early week of the Tour de France. And that's where he goes on this flyer at the top of this hill and then rides solo he does that Red Bull wing celebration right here. But there he is. Look at that. What a superstar. I think 3 stages in the Tour de France this year. But he ended his season a little bit earlier, so it kind of suits him more for the cross this time around. There he is in the Belgian champion last cross season. Him and Mathieu van der Poel, they've been going at it for years on cross bikes, and now they become road stars. And here's Van der Poel right now. After he won Flanders for a second time this spring, he was super cold there. You see him shivering. But he just come off of beating Tadej Pogačar and the 2 chasers that caught him and Tadej for his second Tour of Flanders win. And as you mentioned earlier in our last segment, VDP, we've been following him on his Strava. He's been training in Spain. He's back, I think, in the woods of Belgium, training where he lives to kind of get some lower taxes, Maxime. But let's not talk about that. And Wout van Aert's officially released his schedule. So I guess, Maxime, what can you tell us about Wout van Aert and Mathieu van der Poel? What's the official gossip on when are we going to see these guys in Hulst on Sunday?
Well, today Van der Poel announced his program. Wout van Aert did it already last week. So we now know how many times they will see each other. It will be at least 9 times that they compete to each other in the cyclocross.
Oh, yeah.
Important to know, because the first time is not this week, but the week after. So this week is Hulst. Only Van der Poel is making his return, and then a week later in Antwerp, Van Aert is making his comeback. So that will be the first time that all 3 will be together in one race. So Van der Poel will do at least 14 cyclocrosses this season. The same for Wout van Aert. There's one cyclocross that they are aiming for, and that's one race that counts, and that's the World Championships, which is this year, or early next year in Hogerheide, which is pretty close to Van der Poel's home. So that's almost on home soil that he can win his World Championships. And fun to know, it was, I think, in 2014 also over there. Then they compete to each other in the under-23 ranks. And Van Aert beat him that day, and he was devastated to lose a rainbow jersey on home soil. So he will be sharp again and take the jersey for his home public and all his fans. Van Aert, we will see him a week later and doing almost the same races as Van der Poel, a few, not that many. And one race that counts, and that's the World Championships in the first weekend of February.
I think I'll be taking the FloBikes private helicopter. I could be up there at the World Championships, Maxime. I'll let you buy me a Heineken beer when I touch ground there, and I'll be leaning on you for all the cross intel. But so I think I had it flip flop. So let me get this right. It's these vans, we get them all confused. But so we have our Dutch rider starting in Hulst this Sunday, and then Wout van Aert begins his cross program the week afterwards, where they'll both be racing in Antwerp, also Pidcock as well.
Exactly, that's right, yeah. And from then on, they will meet each other almost every week during the winter.
Yeah, every day is going to be like the Rolling Stones playing, Give Me Shelter or something. So now, what does their presence at the cross event, also Pidcock, who began on Sunday in Belgium, what does their presence do to the attention that we see around these cross events? And I guess also for for media coverage because you're
Yeah.
running a company yourself.
Yeah, no, it's huge. It are two superstars who are entering like a small um, cycling niche, which is cyclocross, which is huge in the Netherlands and in Belgium, and outside, yeah, there are not that many big of an audience that is interesting. So those two superstars coming back to cyclocross is big, and every year we have the question: how will they do compared to the full-time cyclocross races
Yeah.
who we've seen the last weeks? I mean, can they win again? And every year, like all connoisseurs say, it's tough. I'm not sure because they're riding already so fast, and then when they come back, we see them immediately, sometimes a minute in front of the rest. So you won't hear me doing how do you say it? I won't say here if they can win immediately straight away. I don't know, but they will play immediately a role and entertain the cross. So it's good that they are back, and they are back earlier than last year. So they're coming back sooner in the cross. So yeah, that's good for all cyclocross fans.
I should correct. It'd be like Rolling Stones playing "Start Me Up" every weekend. I think that's the song I'll go with. But I love that footage that we were seeing there earlier of them racing at the World Championships. I think it was 2 years ago, through the sand. Van der Poel in his orange and Van Aert there in his light blue Belgian
Yeah.
champion jersey. Given and also for Pitcock, given what they've done on the road this year, look at that. That's Van der Poel going up the ramp there, and he would go on to win the worlds there. I think he's he's right nearly toward victory there. Given their big road seasons, what's possible for these guys? Do you think they have a shot with the limited World Cup program? They have a shot at winning the World Championships in 2023?
Oh, for sure. Those two guys will be the favorites for the World Cup, for the World Championships. Pitcock, we can put him in that list as well, but they will for sure be the the main favorites. These guys are so special. They are so good. They even do cyclocross like on 80% of their abilities. So they will win and dominate cyclocross, not on their full capabilities, because they have always like the spring classics in their mind already. So they know those goals are bigger than cyclocross, but they use it as well to be good in the classics. There's only one thing that's quite interesting. They postponed the World Championships 1 week this year to the. Normally it was always in February. Now and it's in the end of January. Now it's too early February. So 1 week closer to the opening weekend for the road season in Belgium. So I'm very curious if they will do like Omloop het Nieuwsblad and Kuurne as well. Okay, but that's maybe for another episode. But that's something that's in their mind, even when they haven't started yet. How can cyclocross help them to win the road classics? So they always have that question in mind when they're riding cyclocross races.
Sure, because Walt Van Aert came out and smashed it last year in Omloop,
Yeah.
and yeah, but we'll get into this in another weekly show, Maxime, because those are big questions that we can talk about.